Heh.
Yo, what's up, YouTube land?
We're just starting immediately where I died last time, because I want to get a move on in this LP.
Get it going. So we saw this movie today. It was pretty good. It was called Sinners. It's a horror movie, but it's kind of like, you ever hear of From Dusk Till Dawn? The Quentin Tarantino movie flick, if you will.
I've heard of it, I've never seen it.
Yeah, so it's, I guess spoilers for a 30-year-old movie. It starts out as like a completely normal, like, buddy cop, Quentin Tarantino, you know, where they just swear a lot and are like brutal and whatever. And then halfway through, it suddenly becomes a vampire movie. Like, out of nowhere, all of a sudden it's just a vampire movie. And it works really well. I really enjoy that film. And Sinners is kind of like that. It starts out, it takes place in 1930s Alabama, and it's like a period piece about like blues and like, you know, different religious stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, it is a horror movie halfway through. And it's pretty darn good. People were really impressed with it. They even, for those of you who aren't American, they did clap when the movie finished. Be American. Clap. It's true. We clap at everything.
Sure is true.
Well, you know, there's certain times where it makes sense, like when you're at a live event. I always find it funny when you're at, like, a movie and people clap. You know, like, obviously, you want to clap at, like, a stage show or musical or whatever. But it's like, I guess if you're there and you're watching it with, like, the director or whatever, sure. But, like, just a random place in Pennsylvania, seems odd. But be American, clap. Clapistan. I hope everyone is doing good out there in YouTube land. It's definitely spring now. Not even hot, but it just feels hot. I don't know.
I guess it's humid. I was sweating so bad at work today.
Yeah, I feel like it is, because I just had to turn the AC down a little bit more. It's definitely not hot out, but I feel like inside it gets humid this time of year. I don't know. I hate humidity so much. Let's go to a desert or something where there's no humidity. That sounds smart. So remind us again, what are we doing in the game as of this moment?
We're just trying to get the central elevator online to go to the central sanctum. Our goal in this entire game is just to go to the upper sanctum. Because Nora, this familiar, or homunculus, is pretty convinced that that's where she needs to go. Although both of our protagonists, again, have amnesia.
Classic. There was a show that I just finished yesterday where that wasn't a major plot point, but it was a plot point of, like, the bad guy didn't remember who the good guy was, and, like, the bad guy, like, killed the good guy's friend previously. And that was used as a plot point, and I'm always like, must we? Must we use amnesia?
Yeah, I mean, it's just the most convenient plot device in the world. Like, it's a very easy way for the character to have a backstory, but for us to not know it and to learn it with our protagonist. But when it's reused so much, it just gets very trite and cliche.
What is the best example we can think of using amnesia as a storytelling device? Usually it's something I do not like.
It's funny, it's so common that it's like hard to pinpoint like one exact example, because it's like every single thing uses it.
Right. Let's see. I'm curious what Lay Reddit says. Hey, what about Amnesia, the games?
That is true. That's a good one, because Amnesia, The Dark Descent, the main character is pretty bad.
Oh, you know what? That movie Finding Nemo, that does it pretty well, because the character is like a fish and fish have literal 1 second attention span, so that's used in a comedic, funny way. What's the game I'm thinking of, and I apologize for being so vague, where the more you use your power, the more you forget stuff? I know that's also a thing that's probably been done a million times, but there's an example, like, I feel like recently...
Like Final Fantasy VIII?
Oh, you know what? That's not the one I was thinking of, but that is definitely a great example. That is probably one of the worst examples of amnesia.
And it's so random, it's just like, okay...
Especially putting all the characters...
Yeah, it's like, the characters can't just, like, meet on their own. It has to be, like, they knew each other the entire time, except for Noah.
I guess Bioshock 1 has a lot of amnesia stuff that I guess works okay, because it's part of the big reveal at the end, you know?
Yeah, and that one is, like, it's always weirder when you have a silent protagonist. Yeah, because you're living through the character. One of the weirdest silent protagonist thing, it doesn't have anything to do with amnesia, but in Chrono Trigger, when Chrono, like, literally dies, and is brought back as, like, a doll, like a living doll thing, it's just like, is he even Chrono anymore?
That is really...
I mean, it doesn't matter because, again, he's a silent protagonist, but it's like, it's a weird thing to think about. It's like, is he even Chrono anymore?
Maybe that's something they wanted you. Didn't Final Fantasy III also use amnesia for Terra? Wasn't she like she didn't remember where she was from because she's Lay Esper and stuff?
Well, she had her mind wiped because of the Empire.
Oh, I guess that's different. Not super different, but definitely different enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like this. The show that I was talking about is called Reacher. It's just a pretty good action show on Amazon Prime. But the main bad guy of this season, Reacher like shot him and kicked him like 10-15 years ago. Shot him and like kicked him off of this like 500-foot cliff into the ocean. And he somehow survived. The bad guy somehow survived, but part of it was that he had amnesia because he was shot, like, in the head and somehow survived, which I guess. But he didn't recognize Reacher at all, and Reacher was able to, like, go undercover and, like, work for him and stuff, and he was like, wow, you're a good employee and stuff. And I was like, anything but that plot device, please.
Do you remember that one PS2 Let's Try we did? This has nothing to do with anything. Called The Shield or whatever. Based on that, like, hardcore show.
Oh, yeah. Where the guy's always, like,
I don't know
being
why.
awful.
I don't know why, but that, like, game has lived, like, rent-free in my mind forever now.
Should I play it as a full thing?
I just kind of want to see how, like, ridiculous the show is. Maybe I'll watch, like, a couple episodes.
I have a feeling that's one of those shows where if you watch, like, the first season, you're like, I get it. And probably, like you said, even, like, 3 or 4 episodes, it's probably like, yep. Because the main guy...
I'd probably watch one episode and be like...
I want to say his name's... I think his real-life name is Michael Chiklis. His character's just like, I don't care what we gotta do to get these guys off the streets, these bad guys. I'll become a bad guy myself to get these guys off the streets. I'm an anti-hero. And you're like, I get it. And then, as all network TV does, it went for, like, I don't know, 6 seasons, 150 episodes. And at some point they were probably like, I don't know, I'm gonna look up the character's name. Let's see. Vic Mackey. Damn it, Mackey! You're a loose cannon cop who doesn't follow the rules. Hand in your badge and your gun. On my desk. And your other badge. And your other gun. Get the hell out of my sight.
So base.
I cannot tell you how many shows I saw that essentially parodied that in the exact way that I said. Like, it's been done so often that, like, Family Guy, Robot Chicken, everything that parodies everything. Whoa, is this a boss?
Yeah, this is a weird boss that we have to fight 3 times. But he just runs away every time though.
No, it's just that the place you're fighting him in is very unique.
Yeah. I guess that's what they wanted to do, but this is like, it's weird that you have to fight this boss 3 times because, as you can kind of see, it's one of the easiest boss in the game.
I guess they figured since it's easy, make you do it 3 times. I'm a loose cannon cop that doesn't play by the rules. At least he gets results. What if there was a show or movie or whatever where there was a loose cannon cop that doesn't play by the rules, but he doesn't get results? Like instead, like you know how like the reason in the show House MD, like the reason people put up with House is like he's brilliant, right? So they're like he's the biggest jerk ever, but he like saves people's lives. What if he was like the biggest jerk ever and was just like, by the way, I'm sorry that all our patients died. my bad. It's not lupus. House, it was lupus!
I like to see how they would justify, like, him keeping his job.
For more than, like, 5 seconds.
Doctors get, like, malpractice, like, charges, like, so easily.
Yeah. I don't know what it's called, because I just started it today, but there's a show kinda like House, but a little bit more focused on, like, the ER in general, where the doctor who's been there for like 40 years, he's clearly in his like 60s, he's like the head of surgery, is like clearly losing it and he's getting like the shakes and stuff. And in the very first scene, he kills a patient, like one that he totally shouldn't have killed. And he's like, he convinces everyone in the operating room like, well, you saw, he had a heart attack. And everyone's like, because they're all afraid of like losing their jobs and all this stuff, so they're all like, yeah. They were like, oh, they pulled up his patient history and they were like, oh, heart disease does run in his family. And everyone was like, yeah, I saw it. He had a heart attack. And like, that was the premise of like the beginning. And I was like, that's a pretty good premise. And then there is a House-like doctor who's just a big jerk who does get results. Who's like, I don't know the older guy's name. I don't remember. But let's say it's Mackie. Damn it, Mackie. You need to be off this case. And Mackie's like, I seem to remember a young doctor who lost a patient once, and we looked the other way. And then the House guy's like, and I'm like, so vague. Sometimes I love stuff that's like very simple like that. Not every show or movie has to be like that Christopher Nolan movie Tenet or whatever, where you're like, ah yes, a nonsensical plot that I cannot follow. Great. Once in a while, that's fine. But sometimes it's okay to just have, like, a Mario game where it's like, the princess is, kidnapped. Go get her.
Go get her, champ.
Mario, Luigi, and Donkey Kong 2. I'll make you mine. Oh, yeah, Jack Black.
Dude, Super Mario Brothers 2 movie, just bring... What could Jack Black be in Super Mario Brothers movie 2?
Well, wouldn't Bowser be back in it?
Oh yeah, right.
He's literally Bowser.
I don't know why I thought of that.
The question is, what other stupid? All right, you know what? They need to. They need to bring Kevin Hart in to somehow be. Oh, they already have a Toad. That's a shame. Who's another like small character? No, just, I mean, they already completely ruined some characters, like having Seth Rogen being Donkey Kong, so Waluigi is Kevin Hart for no reason. Hey!
Man, if they brought...
Hey, Wario! What the hell?
There's no way that Miyamoto will allow Wario to exist and Waluigi to exist.
Does he hate them?
Yeah.
Oh, he does? Okay. Does he hate them because they're, like, popular?
I think it's mostly because I mean, they're kind of silly characters, but he had nothing to do with their creation.
And then, dude, King K... No, wait, no, that's Donkey Kong. Who's another bad guy from Mario that's, besides Bowser, that's, like, key to the series? Like, you wouldn't bring, like, a one-off character or whatever.
No one.
It pretty much is Bowser.
What's that guy from Super Mario Bros. 2, the frog guy?
Oh, yeah. Wart?
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Dude, Wart, and guess who's voicing Wart? The Rock. Hey, Mario, it's me, Wart. I'm a throw some vegetables at you. $50 million, please. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so base. And then Bowser's like, now that Wart's in the picture, I don't know if I'll get Peach. Chicken jockey. You know that in the Minecraft movie, Jack Black has like a random song where he just sings about, well, Minecraft. And he sings about like lava chicken.
Yes. All those things are just...
You know...
You can't escape
I forget
them.
if I said that on here or just in general, but you know that at some point Jack Black was just messing around between takes and he was like, ooh, mamacita lava chicken in there. And the director was like, yeah, sure, let's put it in.
Oh! That core upgrades our sword finally.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Lava chicken.
Actually, I got an upgrade item to enhance this dude too. Very nice. Oh, but this is so huge. Like, upgrades in this game are just so enormous because, like, it's faster, it's stronger, it does more break damage,
Wow.
and now it does 4 hits in the combo instead of 3. And it's just way faster.
Question of the part: if you wanted to ruin an IP that you loved, how would you do it in movie form? So let's say video game IP to movie form. Who would you hire to be the actors and/or voice actors? What would you do? How would you do it?
How to ruin it?
Yeah, just something like I do think the Mario Brothers movie is good. I think it could have been a lot better without stupid Chris Pratt and Seth Rogen. Jack Black was fine. But, like, they didn't have to have friggin' Chris Pratt, in my opinion. I know.
What? I can't believe you said that.
So they could do an FF7 movie and have Barrett be The Rock. for no reason. There you go. You can have Tifa be Sydney Sweeney. Because she's the it girl
Cloud
right now.
be? I guess it would be like a sort of weedy guy, because like they love categorizing Cloud as like sort of like a mopey guy.
I'll look up this guy. Hold on. And I'll show you a picture, and you'll be like, yep. Just put a what's his name? Put a blonde hair in him. His name's Timothy Chalamet, and I'm going to show Trev a picture right now. He's the it guy right now, so just have him with blonde hair.
Yeah, and he's kind of like a pretty boy too. So.
Yep, and he's like in everything. So this guy Timothy Chalamet, just have him be Cloud and be like Sephiroth. There you go. Oh, Sephiroth. Ooh, definitely Kevin Hart for Sephiroth. It just makes sense. That'd be weird. Anime stuff is weird, or Japanese stuff is weird to put into, like, American people, because, like, people just aren't physically like that, you know?
Yeah, it had to be all, like, K-pop stars.
Yeah.
And those people are, like, half plastic, half human.
Yeah. Yeah. I love the ones, the video game movie adaptations that you didn't even know they could ruin, like House of the Dead. Like, there's already no story, and the story for House of the Dead is nonsensical and just dumb as hell. And it's like, how can you make it... I will say I love House of the Dead because of that stuff, and it's like, how can you make it worse? It's like, well, make it take itself super seriously, and scene transitions... I don't know if you ever saw it, or videos of it, but scene transitions, they literally show, like, the crosshairs on the screen like you're playing House of the Dead. So instead of just being, like... going to the new scene and doing like a star wipe or whatever, it's just like they'll show like on the screen, and I'm like, oh my god, it's like a 10-year-old made it. And then the worst part is it's boring as hell. I mean, trying to make House of the Dead into like a 90-minute movie is bad.
So they're showing a flashback of this is the protagonist. They found her in a tube in the land of origin, so she's special in some way.
Rey Skywalker. That's who she is.
Do you think the new Star Wars trilogy is even remotely going to come out?
They keep talking about this new Rey movie, and I'm like,
there's no way it's going to
how? I know they like losing money, I guess, but like, well, Kathleen Kennedy said there were like all these rumors that she was leaving, and everyone was like, cool. Because the one thing to remember, she's like 70-something years old, so it's like, well, that makes sense. And then she came out and was like, nope, I'm never leaving. Literally never. You'll have to bring me out in a body bag. And
I bet
like,
she was actually planning on leaving, but she wanted to do like some sort of like big event.
So Tom Brady literally did that. He was going to retire, and then it got leaked out that he was going to retire, and he wasn't able to do it on... This is like rumors, but it's pretty substantiated. He wanted to go out on his own terms, so he was like, fine, I'll play one more year. And he literally did. He played one more year. And he still played really good. So... And
so we got Lars.
Better not...
Lars is...
Ooh, we can go up.
We Mega Man X now.
Let's go.
And most of our movement homunculuses get upgrades, and his is the best one too. But that's not for a while.
So there's this new thing that just happened in one of the new Star Wars Disney Plus shows. I'm going to try to say this as YouTube friendly as possible. So one of the characters, like, quite literally gets SA'd. And it's not like, so in the past, stuff like that was implied. You know, like when Leia was with, like, Jabba the Hutt and was, like, in, like, the slave bikini and had, like, a choker on, and it's like, well, she's a slave. So it's, like, very implied. This one, literally, the character was, like literally yells, like, I was blanked. And everyone's like, what is Star Wars anymore? Like, it's so...
It's one woman's vanity project.
And, like, listen, that's something that happens, and it's awful, and there's definitely a time and a place to talk about it and whatever, but everyone's just like, is that time and the place a children's show? Because Star Wars is still, in my opinion, for children. But I guess I've been left behind because it's not? I honest to God don't get it. But that's a big thing that's going on right now. Where people are like, so that happened.
So that just happened.
So that just happened. Whoa. Let's unpack this real quick. Let's put a stop to this. Why, yes, I do browse Reddit.com. How did you know?
Any Marvel quip. What's another obnoxious one?
I could probably... let me try to think some off the top of my head before I just pull it up. Well, I mean, you got the easy ones like, yikes, you know, and oh, wow. We're really going there and stuff like that. Let me see if I can... Best Reddit memes. No, that's not what I meant. I just like the part where he says, it's Morbin time. Then he morbs all over the place. What do people mean when they say Marvel dialogue / Marvel humor? Uh-huh. R/no stupid questions. Narrator's note. There were stupid questions. Actually...
Man, how could you watch like a Marvel movie and be like, I don't get it. What do they mean by that?
Yeah. You know the funny thing is, like... I mean, Joss Whedon, started out with a lot of those big... Marvel movies. He doesn't do them anymore, obviously. But, like, a lot of his early stuff is, like, super brilliant. Like, people love Firefly and Buffy the Vampire Slayer. It just goes to show you, sometimes you can be just right on and then just take one step too far and things get real stupid real fast. Maybe if someone, like, lives in that world all the time and that's all they ever see, like an echo chamber, they're like, I don't understand. What do you mean by Marvel humor? Because that's
they're just so used to
all
it,
they ever see all the time. I want to know what the first movie to ever do. Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I got in this situation. There had to be a first, right?
Yeah.
And it was probably something like tongue in cheek already, like a comedy or something like that. That's one of the tropes I'll always love. I don't even care if it's like just awful. And sometimes it'll just start a movie and it won't even be that interesting. They're like, you're probably wondering how I got here, and I'm like, I honestly wasn't. It started like, this movie started 30 seconds ago. I don't even know who you are.
We're finally getting the elevator.
Where you are. Let's go. Oh, the Central?
Yep. You basically have to save those two guys, the one that was trapped in the scrap ball, and then meeting the Chief of Tuner.
Next weekend is a really cool event called Allentown Pinball Fest, where people just bring tons of pinball machines. You can play a bunch of them. I don't know if, unfortunately, I'll be able to go because it's just a weird week. It's the same weekend as Free Comic Book Day. RIP. I forget if it does it on Sunday as well. I'm gonna go, but I love that place. It's just a huge warehouse full of like hundreds of pinball, and people just bring these pinball games just for you to play for free play. I mean, it costs money to get in the thing. That's actually where I got the Simpsons pinball that's sitting behind us. And I've been thinking about it. I've been thinking about trading that one in for South Park. I think it's like 1999 or 1998 South Park. Because that machine looks pretty cool, and it's about the same value as this one, so I might be able to do, like, you know, close to an even trade kind of thing.
That'd be cool.
I really love the aesthetic of the 1990 Simpsons pinball, but pinball machines are effing huge, and I probably shouldn't even have one, considering how huge they are and how much space they take. But if I had enough, if I switched it out, the South Park one would be, well, epic beyond belief. That or the Family Guy one. I'm not gonna lie. It's like season 1 Family Guy, so it has that awesome aesthetic. I would totally do that one.
That's definitely, that's the best aesthetic.
Well, that's what I like about all three. There's also, so there's another Simpsons game called Simpsons Pinball Party, and it was maybe like, I don't know, the year 2000 or something like that, and the game itself is much better than the one I have. Like, the game itself is so much better, but I was like, dude, the aesthetic is not... I wanted the aesthetic of the like season 1 Simpsons, of Bart being like, don't have a cow, man, and eat my shorts, you know, stuff that did not last very long. It's the same thing for Family Guy. If they made another Family Guy, I'd be like, what is this?